Mark, my microphone's not working. No, this is Justin's. I stole Justin's. Thank all of you for being here. Opening comments from our superintendent, Ms. Strasclair.
Thank you, Mr. Latchley. This evening, in place of my comments, I want to welcome the Paulboro Middle School Choir, who will perform a few songs for us this evening. Before the choir comes up, I'd like to also thank and recognize the Comeaux High School Performing Arts students who were performing in the lobby before the meeting under the direction of Ms. Jennifer Horrigan. Congratulations and thank you. At this time, I would like to introduce Dr. Rendell James, who is in his third year as Paulboro Middle School's choir director, and who will tell you a few things about some special recognitions that this group of students have earned. Thank you. Dr. James? And if board members would like to come and sit in front, we do have some seats for you here.
Test 1, 2.
Good evening, Superintendent Trosclair, members of the school board, district directors, other district personnel, teachers, parents, and students. Standing before you this evening is the Paulboro Middle School Girls Treble Choir. This choral ensemble is comprised of the most vocally talented 7th grade and 8th grade students at the school. It has been a very productive and busy fall semester for our program. First, after a rigorous audition process, 10 Paulboro students were selected for the Louisiana chapter of the American Choral Directors Association's All-State Choir. The rehearsals and performances were held in New Orleans and took place in the month of October. There are 5 students in the treble choir who were chosen. Students, raise your hands if you were selected. Next, 23 Paulboro students participated in the Louisiana Music Educators Association's Solo Festival held on campus in November. I am proud to announce that all 23 singers earned superior ratings for their adjudicated memorized solos. The singers performed English art songs, African American spirituals, and Italian art songs. If you participated in the solo festival, please raise your hand and be acknowledged. Finally, there are 9 6th through 8th graders who will participate in the Lafayette Vocal Music Teacher Association's Honor Choir rehearsals and performances in February 2023. 1 student in the treble choir will participate in Honor Choir. Would you raise your hand? So if you will allow me to make this commercial message, the Paulboro Middle School Christmas Choral Concert is this Sunday, December 11th at 2 p.m. It will take place at St. Elizabeth Seton Catholic Church, located at 610 Raintree Trail here in Lafayette. It is free and it is open to the public. I think you will enjoy if you're able to attend. To put you into the Christmas spirit, the treble choir will perform 2 unaccompanied selections. The first piece is White Winter Hymnal, composed by Robin Pecknold. This selection is frequently performed by the a cappella group Pentatonics. The second selection is Carol of the Bells, written by Mikola Leontovich. On behalf of the administration, faculty, staff, and student body of Paulboro Middle School, we wish all of you a very happy holiday season. We hope that you enjoy.
I was following the eye, was following the eye, was following the eye, was following the
Dr. James, thank you very much for the work you do. Young ladies, I'm very proud of you. Great work. Ms. Rayburn, thank you for being here supporting your students. Thank you very much. Congratulations. And you still have to go to school tomorrow, ladies.
Thank you, students. That was perfect. Is that all? Does that conclude your comments, Ms. Superintendent? Yes, ma'am. We will move forward. Mr. Angel had something to do this evening. He asked that I mentioned that he did want to be here, and he wanted me to mention congratulations to the athletes and teams that made the playoffs in football. Southside getting their first ever playoff victory, moving on to the quarterfinals. I know the reason he asked for this. He wanted me to congratulate Karen Crow on making the semifinals, who beat Acadiana in the second round, but that's okay. That's okay. No, all honesty, congratulations to all the athletes and students, our student athletes, for a very good football season. We'll move on. Our information items, 2.1, academics, 2023-2024 coordinated funding request for early childhood. Mr. Rabelais, Ms. Douay.
Good evening. Good evening. Bulletin 140 requires the Early Childhood Department to submit our 2023-2024 coordinated funding request. This request is for all pre-K funding items for seats for the 23-24 school year for LA4 and NSCCD, or non-public schools of early childhood development. Additionally, this year we are requesting birth to 3 seats to support the continued work of our birth to 3 efforts of expanding access in childcare. At this time, we are announcing our public comment will open today and will close on December 14th. Any public comment can be submitted to ecnetwork@lpssonline.com. Are there any questions?
No, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. 2.2, Ovey Comeaux High School needed repairs. That's me and Ms. LeBou. I'm running the show, so you're going to have to talk.
Thank you, Mr. Latulet, former president. First, I want to thank the administration. Obviously, before I got here and since I've been here, there's been a lot of improvements at Comeaux. Obviously, that beautiful Magna Academy building, the new track that we've gotten, the ROTC building, which is wonderful. If you haven't seen a performance, please come to the Black Box at Comeaux High School. But there are some issues that I met with Ms. Renee White to go over, and some of them I just want to give her an update. The parking lot repaving is funded and will be completed. We're in phase 1 of that, and I know that's a concern for a lot of the drivers. So just want to let them know that it has been funded and is going to happen. I know we have some nice HVAC folks in the building tonight. Just let them know that we have some addressing issues there as well. There are some plumbing issues that have been raised. It is an older building, as many of our schools are, and I've communicated that to the facilities to address some issues with our facilities in the stadium, especially, as well as near the gym area. We have some ventilation and plumbing problems in those facilities, so we're addressing those. And as well as we have a need for a conference room and some revision to the administration set up, because we're not able to have some of those meetings that we need to have with teachers and address parents and address some of the issues that are being raised in a downstairs facility that is accessible. So I know we have an elevator, but it would help and behoove the school to be able to have some of those bigger meetings in the administration facility, as well as securing the downstairs area. So also know that we're also funding a fencing around the football area. That's already been funded as well. So just wanted to give an update that we met with Ms. Renee. We are addressing those issues. If they're not in the budget already, we are examining them and looking to allocate the funding. I want to thank the administration for working with me on that, facilities and everybody else, and making Comeaux everything it needs to be for our Arts Academy as well as all of our zone students. Thank you.
So, Ms. LeBoux, Mr. Touchette did visit that campus today and has prioritized some things that Mr. Bourdelaw and he will work on getting going. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate.
Thank you, Ms. LeBoux. Next up is 2.3, Finance, ASBO Certificate of Excellence and GFOA Award of Financial Reporting Achievement for the fiscal year 2020-2021 Annual Comprehensive Financial Report. Mr. Dugas, Mr. Mouton.
We just want to mention that we did we did get both awards this year. That puts our financial statements as good as any in the country. In fact, 2 years ago, we were used as an example in the national conference on how to put together a set of financial statements. So we awarded that again, and we just want to let the board know of that accomplishment.
Thank you, Mr. Dugas. Kudos to your department. We're going to go ahead with the consent agenda. Ms. LeBoux, you have something?
Mr. Latchley, I ask that we move item number, I apologize, I don't have the item number in front of me.
3.5.
3.5, it's move that to the January agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second.
Do we vote on that?
We don't have to vote on this.
We don't have to vote on it.
No,
Yeah,
we're removing it from the agenda before we start the consent agenda.
Yes, sir. I'd like to have it be moved to the January agenda.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
3.5 has been removed. I'm going to go ahead and read the consent agenda. Any item can be pulled by any board member. We'll then ask for public comment. Public comment is for or against the item, not question and answer. So if you have anything not pulled when we vote in Globo, if you would like to speak on an agenda item, please come up and state which one it is. I'll start here. 3.1, academics, discussion and or action to approve amendment to the 2022-2023 pupil progression plan. 3.2, administration, discussion and or action concerning board participation in class action lawsuit against manufacturer of vaping devices. 3.3, discussion and action concerning the committed school sites, renovation, replacements, Prairie, Carencro Heights, Lafayette High, Northside High, J.W. Falk, and S.J. Montgomery line item in the self-funded construction fund. 3.4, discussion and or action concerning resolution 12-022-2051, school letter grade recognition day. 3.5 has been taken off of the agenda. 3.6, communications, discussion and or action concerning a one-time general fund budget revision increasing awards and recognitions. 3.7, facilities, discussion and or action concerning budget revision to self-funded construction fund. 3.8, finance, discussion and or action concerning the budget to actual for November 2022. 3.9, discussion and or action concerning resolution 12-022-2050, canvassing the returns and declaring the results of the general election held November 8th, 2022. 3.10, discussion and or action concerning resolution 11-022-2048, Stuller Incorporated Industrial Tax Exemption Application. 3.11, risk management, discussion and action concerning the revised claims administration services agreement effective January 1st, 2023 by and between Lafayette Parish School Board and Employee Risk Management Services. 3.12 is superintendent discussion and action concerning the minutes of the November 9th, 2022. And 3.13 is approval of all action consent items. Can I receive a motion on the items not pulled?
Mr. Latchley, I move that the board approve all items not pulled.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Ms. LeBeau and a second by Ms. Morrison that all items be approved. Does anyone have any comments on any item not pulled? Any public comment? Any board comment? I got to give you a microphone.
Mr. Latchley, I'd like to read the resolution 12-022-2051, School Letter Grade Recognition Day, District and School Performance Scores Recognition Day. Whereas the Lafayette Parish school system community has made tremendous efforts towards student achievement, and whereas results from recently released school and district performance scores show that Lafayette Parish school system students have achieved stellar growth across several areas as assessed by the Louisiana Department of Education Accountability System for the 2021-2022 school year. And whereas the district's performance score increased to 84.6, growing 5.7 points since the last letter grades were released, and whereas the Lafayette Parish school system has maintained its B letter grade, and whereas 16 schools received a letter grade in 2019 earned at least one letter grade higher for the 2021-2022 academic year, and whereas 5 Lafayette Parish schools, Karen Crowe High School, Myrtle Place Elementary School, Southside High School, Lafayette Middle School, and J. Wallace James Elementary School earned double-digit point increases. And whereas Lafayette Parish school system no longer has any F-rated schools and its lowest number of D-rated schools on record. Whereas the Lafayette Parish school system has earned an A for student growth and is ranked #1 in district performance scores among large districts serving over 30,000 students. The district is 16th overall in the state in district performance score rankings, climbing 13 spots from 2019. Additionally, Lafayette Parish school system is #5 in the state and leads regions 4 and 5 in district performance score growth change for the years 2019 through 2022. Therefore, be it resolved that the Lafayette Parish School Board does hereby proclaim December 16th, 2022 as School Letter Grade Recognition Day and asks all stakeholders to join in celebrating these achievements.
Thank you, Mr. Centani.
And I'll just follow that up with this isn't just a resolution. There's also item number 6 that was also not pulled. There's a budget revision of $50,000 to give money to every one of our schools so that they can have their own celebration in whatever way suits them on December 16th. I think most people would agree we're very, very proud of the work that you've done, students and teachers, and hopefully you have a nice afternoon on the last day before Christmas break.
Thank you, Mr. Centani. Any other board member comment? Hearing none, Madam Secretary, I'll call for the vote.
Eight for, none against.
Motion carries. Next item pulled. 3.2, discussion and or action concerning board participation in class action lawsuit against Manufacturer of Vaping Devices. Mrs. Centani?
Mr. President, I move that the board approves participating in class action lawsuit against Manufacturer of Vaping Devices.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Centani, a second by Ms. Morrison. That the board approves participating in the class action lawsuit against Manufacturer of Vaping Devices. Do we have any public comment on this agenda item? Any board member comment? Mrs. Centani?
Mr. Hammonds, the reason I pulled this, can you explain to us what we would potentially be joining? Like, what is the class action lawsuit suing for?
Class action lawsuit has been filed against Juul, Juul, manufacturer of many of the vaping devices utilized around the country. We have been contacted by the attorneys, the group of attorneys who have filed that class action, soliciting participation by school boards because they are seeking monetary damages that would go into education programs in the schools. So they think that the existence of school systems as plaintiffs in the case will aid in their advocacy of that relief. And there is no cost to the school system. Win, lose, or draw, there's no cost to the school system involved. I can't see any risk in participating in the case. I can see only gain. If in fact there is a recovery, that recovery would go primarily for the cost of education and other anti-vaping type programs that could be implemented in your schools. So for those reasons, I would recommend your participation in this litigation.
Thank you, Mr. Hammonds.
Any other board member comment? Ms. LeBeau?
Mr. Hammonds, where is that suit filed?
I think it's, I have to go back and look to see, Ms. LeBeau. I was just reached out to this week about this. I think it was filed originally in California. The law firm that is filing it is primarily based in California, but it's a national class action suit.
Any other board member comment? Hearing none, Madam Secretary, I'll call for the vote.
Seven for, one against.
Motion carries. The final item pulled is 3.3, is discussion and or action concerning the committed school sites renovation replacements, Prairie, Carencro Heights, Lafayette High, North Side, J.W. Falk and S.J. Montgomery line item in the self-funded construction fund. There will be additions tonight. I need a motion, or Dr. Chasson, you have an addition to this item?
Yes, sir.
You have the floor, sir.
I'd like to make a motion to add to the recommended action Lafayette Middle Library renovations, Lafayette High Stadium, and the multi-sports complex.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second, Dr. Chasson and Mr. Broussard, of adding Lafayette Middle School Library, Lafayette High Stadium, and the multi-sports complex, which would be added along with Judy's Middle Library and Academic Wing Addition, Acadiana High School Academic Wing Addition, and the Southside Home and Visitor Side Stadium. Do we have any public comment on adding these items to this agenda? Any board member comment? Dr. Chasson.
Just a small heads up, everybody. The recommended action was already posted, so the first vote will be for adding those three items. So
Correct.
you're either for it or against it, and that has nothing to do, because I didn't want it to interfere with the original recommended action. So if you want to support adding those three things, vote yes. If you don't, vote no. Then we'll have a vote on the actual totality of it.
Correct. So all we're doing is voting on adding these. Any other board member comment? Mr. Broussard.
Thank you, Dr. Chasson. Is that on?
It sounds like you are.
Thank you, Dr. Chasson, for adding that on. I visited Lafayette Middle on several occasions, and I understand because of its historical site, we can't do too much to it because it's a landmark in our community. But I visited the library, and it's dingy, and I spoke to Mr. Bordelon about it some time ago, and I'm certain that he's on it as far as what we can do with it. But I would really love to see that part and other parts. The floor is old, and because of the humidity, it's buckling. So there's a lot of work needs to be done, and I understand we've got to take our time to do it. But you know, if you get a chance to visit the library, it looks like it's 70, 80 years old. It holds the moisture, and it's has the damn smell to it. So thank you for adding it on. I just want to, let everybody know the importance of brightening it up and make it more inviting to the students that are there. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Broussard. Ms. Morrison?
Yes, can you hear me? I was just thinking, moving forward in the future for us as a board or whoever the new board is to think about our west side of our parish where Scott Dussault resides, because that area is really growing, and I can foresee probably a new school, maybe combinations of schools. We haven't made any decisions, but we're looking at that. And so I just want to make that comment as we're improving facilities, adding wings, to think about that side of town that is growing. Mr. Hefner is doing a survey of, the growth of each area in Lafayette Parish, and I would go forward to say that we will see as many subdivisions that we have in that area. I can see us needing a new school. So just want to put that out there to the board. Thank you.
Any other board member comment? Madam Secretary, I'll call for the vote. No. Okay. Okay. Wait. No. That's not the agenda item.
Well, no, that's right, because this here is the line item.
Right.
In the budget. This is the things.
No, that's not what we're adding. That's not the right. That's not. Don't vote. No, we need. Dr. Chasson made a motion, an amendment that we add Lafayette Middle School Library, Lafayette High School Stadium, and the multi-sports complex to this item. So we have to vote to approve to add this to the item. Then we'll come back and vote on 3.1 and have discussion on 3.3. I'm sorry. Can we do a voice vote, Mr. Hammonds?
Sure. Call roll. Just call roll if you want.
Okay. We'll do a voice vote. Mr. Broussard? Yes. Ms. Mason? Yes. Mr. Centani? Yes. Dr. Chasson? Yes. Ms. LeBou? Yes. Dr. Aguilar? Yes. Ms. Morrison?
Yes.
I vote yes. The items have been added to the agenda. The agenda item.
Motion to approve the new recommended action. You need me to read it out, Mr. Hammonds?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Okay. Now I will entertain a motion on 3.3 with the additional items added.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion by Dr. Chasson and a second by Mr. Centani that the board approves adding Judy's Middle School Library Academic Wing. Why doesn't this vote go away? Acadiana High School Academic Wing and Administrative Offices, and Southside High School Stadium to the committed school site, along with Lafayette Middle School Library, Lafayette High School Stadium, and the multi-sports complex to the committed school sites, renovations, replacements, Prairie, Carencro Heights, Lafayette High, Northside High, J.W. Falcon, S.J. Montgomery line item in the self-funded construction fund. Is there any public comment on this agenda item? Any board member comment on this item? Madam Secretary, I'll call for the vote. While we wait on the vote, ladies and gentlemen, I want to let you know we're adding these items to our list, which is what we did when we built Prairie, Carencro Heights, Lafayette High. There is no bonding capacity. There is no line item for this, but we have added these to the list so that in the future, as we move forward, we're committed to working on building these things. We'll go ahead and do a voice vote on this one also, Ms. Dorothy. I didn't call your name yet. Mr. Broussard. Wait, hold on.
Yes.
Hold on. Hold on. Dr. Chasson?
Hey.
Dr. Chasson?
Oh, the Grinch was ready to go right there.
No,
Okay.
I don't have mine
Yes,
not up.
yes, yes.
Not up for us.
Yes.
Mr. Broussard. Ms. Mason.
Yes.
Mrs. Centani. Ms. LeBou. Dr. Aguilar.
Yes.
Ms. Morrison.
Yes.
I vote yes also. The motion carries. That was the final item. We would like to make an announcement that the regular board meeting in January, will be scheduled for January 11th, 2023. That will be the second Wednesday of the month. With that being said, want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Make it safe. Thank you to all of you, and this meeting is now.
Britt.
What?
Are we going to take a Christmas picture? Okay, great. Okay, just want to make sure.
It's usually Miss LeBou that's stopping me.
I'm excited.
I look straight at her. My presidency was occupied by Miss LeBou making comments. This meeting is adjourned.
You did a great job, Britt. You did a great job tonight.
Yeah, that's mine.